Hey, and welcome to the Joie Miller podcast. I'm Pastor Joie Miller from Champion, and I have a special invitation for you, and that is to sit down and plan with me today. A lot of requests came in for a how-to video, how I plan, and so I thought it would be fun to unpack the month of December with you all. And so I want to just sit down as if you were at my kitchen table in my thought process on a Sunday evening of how I would look at my month and start to plan my week. And so this is the Joie Miller Planner. If you don't have a planner, I highly recommend this. I'll tell you why in just a minute. But this is my go-to. If I don't have my planner with me, I feel completely lost. And you might plan on your phone, you might have an app. However you do it, just start to implement these principles. Planning is a very personalized thing. There's certain elements that in guidelines that you can follow, but everyone's brain works a little bit differently. So as I'm showing you and walking you through what I do, feel free to make it customized to how you think and how you operate. So we've been talking about how time is actually a spiritual principle. How we steward our time is our responsibility. It's a gift that God gives us. And, for so many years, I walked through life just feeling behind or out of control, or really just frustrated and almost getting into complaining and maybe even in some seasons depression, because I felt like things weren't ever going to change. And when I started to implement things that I already knew how to do, I was always a planner. Even when I was younger, I would always kind of time block my schedule. But then as life happened, I felt less in control of my life, whether that was new seasons, new roles and responsibilities. And I kind of lost myself for a while. And planning really helped to resurrect that area of taking my life back under control, of seeing the things that I was believing God for, the things that were in my heart, the desires to start to come forth in my life. I believe in creating the life that you love. What does that mean? That means maybe you didn't grow up a certain way, or your family wasn't the way that you would envision your family to be. You have the power now to create the life that you love, especially as a believer, as God gives you that vision and that desire for your home in your life, to start to implement and move forward in these areas. The key, though, is understanding that we partner with God, that God gives us the ability to steward our time. He doesn't tell us you're going to do this during this time, this during this time, that there's actually a stepping forward, a walking out aspect of our faith and our goals and the vision that God has given us. And a planner is a way that I have found to practically bring the goals and the vision that I have for the year into reality in a tangible way, to measure success, to see movement, not only monthly, but daily, and sometimes even hourly in my life. And so I want to really encourage you to get some sort of planning device, whether it's on your phone, whether it's a written planner, to help move forward the things that God has put in your heart to see accomplished. And so I want to take you through the month of December, pretending like you're sitting down with me with a cup of coffee. So usually it's Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, and everyone's just doing their thing. And I cozy up in this chair with my planner. Usually I have a cup of coffee, maybe a blanket, a sweatshirt on. And what I do is I look at my month. And so I open it up to my month on my planner, and I will start to inject. You can see there's already some things in December on my monthly planner that I know are going to happen. We pastor a church, and so there are things that are already on the church calendar that I need to then transfer to my personal planner. We have Google Calendar. We operate on that as a church staff. So maybe you're at work and you have a calendar, a joint calendar. That's great. I then take that and I transfer it to a one-stop shop for my life, which is my planner. Maybe you are a stay-at-home mom and you have like a shared family calendar. That is great. I also take those things and transfer them to my calendar. This is like the brains of my functionality and my operation that I go by. And so I've already written down like the core things that I know are coming into my month. What are those things? There's certain rhythms and big rocks, so to say, if you were using the rock analogy of the priorities being the bigger rocks and anything smaller, not needing so much of your time and attention. So Obviously, we're in December, so Christmas Day, starting with a holiday, Christmas Eve, and then any other reoccurring rhythms that happen in the month of December. Maybe you in your family always have a Christmas party on the 23rd. Whatever that looks like, going ahead and injecting those things that you already know are going to happen into your calendar. And then I look at the other calendars, whether it is a work calendar or the school calendar, and I'll take those things that are already set in stone and I'll inject them into my planner. And there's nothing worse than finding out your kids had a day off of school and be like, oh man, if I knew, I could have planned something fun, I could have done something differently. Or realizing that you've double booked yourself, the kids had off from school and you're working and you would have taken PTO had you known they had time off. So this really just keeps you organized. So I have a couple Christmas parties that are already in my planner. I have some different events for ministry that I'm going to be doing for leadership that are already in my planner. I have Sundays marked off, special things that are happening on Sundays. So I will take an overall view of what's happening on a Sunday. I'll get a glimpse of December. Another thing that I like to do is I like to prioritize my month when I sit down at the first of the month and look at what's coming up. So going back to creating the life that you love, one of the priorities in my life is Bible reading, obviously. The Joie Miller Planner, we have scriptures in there. There's actually a Bible reading plan that you can find that I love is at the beginning of every month. Well, December is a little bit different for me. I like to switch up my Bible reading. There's also declarations that you could speak over your month, biblical declarations. But I like to go along with the Advent season. So one of the things that I've already have done to set myself up for going into December is I have gone to the Bible app and I have chosen an Advent or a holiday reading plan for myself. I'm also doing the Bible recap. But one of the things with a core anchor in your life as spirituality is you want to set yourself up for success. If you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. What does that mean? If I get up in the morning and I'm tired, I'm not really thinking, and I'm like, what do I want to read in my Bible? I don't really know. Planning helps you to become the boss of yourself in advance. It's like somebody telling you what to do in advance, and that person is you. So you're becoming your own boss. I've adopted this saying that says, let discipline decide. So when I get up in the morning and I grab my coffee and it's early, I don't have to sit there and think, what am I going to read today? I've already let discipline decide. I've already said, okay, this is my assignment for the day. This is my plan. And so that helps me to move forward in being disciplined and consistent on a daily basis. I don't have to have the mental fatigue or the mental struggle of what am I going to read today? I know what I'm reading. And then there's that great kick that we get from checking the box off. It's like a little dose of, yes, I did this in my day. We're feeling like we're succeeding. So I'll pick that plan in advance. See, when we choose in advance, we're choosing to win for the month. Hey, let's take a minute and pause, and I want to invite you to follow me on social media. If you want more behind the scenes, if you want more encouragement, you can follow me on Instagram at Joie Miller. You can follow me on Facebook at Joie Miller. You can follow me on TikTok at Joie Miller. Whatever your venue is, follow me and stay encouraged. And so then what I will do is I'll think, okay, December, what do I want to do in December? And once again, the Joie Miller Planner is greater about this because it gives us, it says plan fun activities for the month in the prep aspect. And so I will then take time and think, what are the things that my family loves to do in December? One of the things is to go ice skating together. We usually go into the city. We have kind of like a New York City vibe. We have a big tree and outdoor skating. So we'll take a night and we'll all go into the city and we'll go ice skating and we'll go to the Christmas market. We'll have some hot chocolate or some coffee. That's one of the things that we love to do as a family. So that is a core event. I defined that a while ago. I thought, what would be like a picturesque December that would make my heart feel full, that would make me feel like we did something fun as a family. And so, start as you're planning your month, start to ask yourself those questions. If I could design the perfect month when it came to spending time and investing in my family, what would that look like? And then you might have to take it down a notch, right? One of the things that I would love to do one day is to go to Colorado on a ski trip with the entire family. Like, that would be amazing. Well, my budget doesn't allow for me to do that right now. So what do? I think, well, what is it about that I like? I like the cozy feeling. I like the hot chocolate. I like the winter activity. So we go ice skating. We grab some hot chocolate. We spend the evening together. That makes me feel like I am getting filled up. My tank's getting filled up. We have great memories. We have great Instagram photos. Not that it's about that, but we have a moment together. Another thing that we love to do is we love to see a Christmas musical or Christmas show at Christmas time. So I will start to, as I'm planning out the month of December, I'll get on the site, or maybe in November I'll even do this, and I'll look at what is available. I'll look at the dates, and then I'll say what would fit our family, and then I will, put a text out to everybody. I have adult children, I have teenagers, make sure everybody's on board, and then we'll purchase the tickets, and it's slated for the month. A lot of times we get frustrated with people, we get frustrated with our finances, we get frustrated because we feel like we ran out of time. We'll see somebody did something, like, why didn't I think of that? It's because you didn't take time to think. And so this is actually fun. It helps you to get a fresh vision for the month. Every month is a blank slate. Every month is a fresh chance to make up what you didn't get to do last month. And so it's a fresh beginning. And so starting the month saying what would make this a great month, and then start to dream. It's fun to do that. And so as you put those things into your calendar, maybe you're like, my budget allows for 2 big events. We have a big family. We have 5 kids. It's growing. We have some bonus daughter-in-laws. We have a grandbaby now. So our budget is increasingly stretching. And so you say, what is it that we can do on our budget? And so those are monthly things that I inject into the budget. Then you can send out the text messages. Everyone could be on the same page. You get commitments. Another thing we like to do is we like to go see Christmas lights. So we'll all put on our pajamas. Every Thanksgiving, I buy matching pajamas for even the adult kids. We get in our pajamas, we stay in a church van, we go look at Christmas lights, and then we come home. We have our hot chocolate, and that's just a fun thing that we do. And so those are the 3 items that I'm thinking off the bat that I'm going to insert into my calendar. That allows me to budget for them, and it allows me to plan. And so I'm setting forth a vision for what December looks like in 2025. And so that is a big picture of how I start to plan my month. There are many other things that we're going to dive into. And then I go into the daily aspect of the planner. So every good planner has a month layout, and then it has daily layout. What I love about this planner is that it's not dated for me. That means that I pick it up and start with a fresh planner in January, or I could start in September. So it's kind of nice like that. There's flexibility. So I'll go in and I'll fill in the dates for Monday through the following Sunday, and then it has the top 3. And I'll go in and I'll ask myself a question, just like I asked what would make this month a success. I ask myself, what would make this week successful? If I accomplish these things this week, whether that's family driven, whether your goals are career driven, if they're spiritually driven, what would define a win this week? And that's an answer that we all know. That's a question we all know the answer to innately. We know what would make us feel like it was a success this week. Maybe it's that thing that you go to bed and you're like, man, I didn't read my Bible again, or I was just really busy today. I didn't spend any time with my spouse, or I didn't give my kids any extra fun this week. What are those things that you want to see happen in your life that are constant frustrations? We'll take them from that frustration feeling and put them on paper. And so I'll say, well, what are the top 3 things? So every day I have top 3 things. Sometimes they're career oriented, sometimes they're ministry focused, sometimes they're family focused, and sometimes it's just personal. And so I'll fill them in there, and then I will start to fill in my calendar for the week, the things once again that I know are happening. So whether that's time reading the Bible, maybe that is a workout class that I already know that I'm going to be attending that week. Maybe it's not a class, but you want to start exercising, so you just make an appointment for it. Start to make an appointment for the things that matter to you as if you were making an appointment with somebody very important in your life. Like if it was the CEO of your company or the president of the United States or, the pastor of your church. If you were like, you know what, I'm not going to miss that appointment. Start to treat your life like that. And when you do, you'll start to see movement in ways you could never even have imagined. So I'll start to take it hour by hour in my week. I'll say, you know what, Monday, what do I have Monday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then in addition to marking that off, maybe at 5 o'clock, I know like that's family time. I will literally put family time in my schedule. Maybe that is a favorite TV show that you love to watch. Right now, our family loves Dancing with the Stars. So last night after family dinner, we all watch Family with the Stars. It was already pre-planned in my planner. And so what am I doing? I'm letting discipline decide for me. Now, you can be flexible. There's times and moments where something comes up and you just can't help it. Like yesterday, I had to take my daughter to the orthodontist at 2 o'clock. It came up, wasn't planning for it, but it's okay. I'm not that rigid that I can't allow for some flexibility in my day. But for the most part, I let discipline decide. For the most part, when I follow the plan, everything moves forward effortlessly in my life. And so I will also at the bottom of that page, if we have a special dinner that night or if we have something for the church, I'll mark that in because it has to deal with planning dinner. I'll also have a dinner plan marked in my planner every night of the week to execute. Why? So that when I review my planner in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm having chicken noodle soup for dinner. Do I have all of the ingredients for that? Have I put the chicken out? What do I need to do? Does the crock pot need to be going? What am I doing? I'm teaching myself to trigger to think about these things. So many years, I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't think about dinner until 4 o'clock. And then I was like, oh man, I don't have ingredients for dinner. And if I do, I didn't put them out to thaw. There's no way I could thaw a whole roast in like an hour. So I would have to pivot. I'd either have to get fast food or serve something different. And so just learning to think ahead and learning to organize your thoughts is so important when it comes to planning budget. It just makes everything so much better. And so I'll put the dinner there. So a normal week, you would look at my planner and pretty much hour by hour is planned out. If I have a gap, I'll think, what can I do during that gap where I can do something for the household? Say I get home from work at 3 o'clock, the kids get home at 4 o'clock. I'm like, that's a perfect time to throw in a load of laundry or fold a load of laundry. So I'm already thinking about the different areas and responsibilities in my life. If your goal is to be more relational for the year, you can even start to insert on purpose, like text a friend on Monday. I'm going to start creating a habit. We're going to unpack that in a few podcasts here on habit looping, creating habits. That on a Monday, I actually, will text a friend, text someone in the church, praying for you, thinking about you today. Maybe it's a family member and you're like, I haven't talked to that family member in a while and you're feeling a void in your life. Well, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, start to put it in your planner. I'm going to text my family members once a week to let them know I love them. You're making an investment. You're creating the life you love. You're no longer waiting for life to get great. You're making action steps towards life getting great as you define it as great. And so, just a reminder, success is really subjective to what you define it as. So start to ask yourself, what are the things that fill me up? What are the things I feel like I'm lacking in my life? What are the frustrations that I have? And start to ask God to help you create the life you love through planning. So we're going to continue to unpack this, but start to think about the different areas and priorities you have, from cleaning to meal prep, to ministry, to serving at the church, to being a stay-at-home mom, and start to define what movement or a small win would look like that in that area, and then start to inject it into your daily schedule, your daily planning, and you will see movement. So I hope this was helpful. We're going to keep unpacking. We're going to have more to-dos on how you can make your planner pretty. This is very baseline. At the beginning of the year, I have my stickers, I have all the things, but then as life goes on, I kind of just get to the nitty gritty. But by all means, you can use your planner however you want. Personalize it, get all the pretty stickers, put pictures in there. This is the Joie Miller planner that has a place for actually reflection on the month before. And sometimes, I'll take a moment and even maybe put a picture in there of what happened that month that was a win. And so it can act as a vision board to see progress that month. It can act as a gratitude journal. There's a place for journaling and gratitude. And so it's really a one-stop shop. So if you don't have this or a way to plan, I would highly suggest this planner. I've created it as how my brain works. And so there's scripture references, there's to-do lists, there's triggers for you to say, you know what, yes, I'm gonna prioritize my family this month. I'm gonna write down some fun activities. And what it does is it gives you a couple activities to kind of get your mind going in that direction. But trust me when I say this, there are no limits to creating a life that you love when you're dreaming with the Holy Spirit, when you're planning with Him, and you're taking responsibility for the 24 hours that God has given you every day. So hopefully this was helpful. Send me your questions. I'm trying to answer them the best that I can. I want to unfold this process. I want to walk through it with you, and I'll see you next time on the Joie Miller Podcast.